Hi, this is Flashello here. I'm doing an episode review of Season 2, Episode 1 of The Flash. Now, normally I don't do these kind of videos. They're more or less for everybody else, but since this is such an important season of The Flash to me, I have to do it. Why? Because there's a particular speedster who I am just can't wait to see, and that's Jay Garrick. Now, I have my reasons why Jay is very special to me, and maybe one of these days I'll tell it to you guys. So, but that's not to say that I don't love Barry. It was because of the old Flash TV show with John Wesley Shipp back when I was just a little kid, which was about like 4 years old. So it was a big turnaround of what made me like the Flash so much. And as I got older, I really loved the Flash stories. But when Jay Garrick came into my life, it was a whole nother story about who he really is just every kind of thing that you really aspire to be. Just this noble guy that has a wife, he's a great friend, a great teacher, somebody you look up to, and that's somebody I'd like to be. That's somebody who I try to be. But anyway, last season was just phenomenal. There were so many good things about it. The actor who played Harrison Wells, just, I like his portrayal of Professor Zoom over the comic books, and that's saying something, you know? And his suit, it actually looks better than the comics. Grant Gustin, he knocks it out of the park with being Barry. Everybody, Cisco, just, you can't go wrong with Cisco. Cisco is just everything that he should be. He's the comic relief that everybody loves. He's got the one-liners that just got a bust-out laughing moments. And then Jesse L. Martin, he's just such a great father figure and so touching moments. It's just, you know. And then, okay, I do have season 1 of The Flash on DVD. I haven't even opened it yet because I'm kind of hesitant on it. It's just been such a good season, and I'm looking forward to this season. But anyway, let's just dive into season 2, episode 1. Okay, let's get started. I, for one, was pretty shocked to find out. Spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen the episode. I recommend it. Firestorm, at least one half of them, is gone, and that's Ronnie. Somehow the vortex collapsed after Firestorm merged with Stein and Robbie, and they flew up to go and finish off the singularity after Barry had stabilized a portion of it. But only Professor Stein somehow made it out alive. I don't think he's dead. I think maybe he's just trapped in the multiverse somewhere. So who knows if he'll ever show up. I don't doubt it, but there is or has been some previews of another Firestorm. I think Jason. So we'll, I think, probably see that in the future episodes. All right, let's get on to some of the other things. Cisco, he was receiving some flashbacks, or not say flashbacks, I would say more or less visions of Atom Smasher portrayed by WWE's Edge, which is pretty cool. He kind of saw for a brief moment him on this parallel Earth during Flash Appreciation Day, which another thing was another cameo, Tony Bellows, who was the officer in the old original TV show. So that was also cool. Who now plays the mayor of Central City, for those who don't know. So it was cool to see him kind of give the key to the city to Flash for helping to save Central City. Another thing that was pretty interesting was basically Edge as the Atom Smasher. Now, at the end of the episode, it shows him absorbing too much radiation after the team basically figures out a way to go and shut him down. I thought, I hate to see him die, They kind of did that in season 1 with basically killing off a bunch of the first few villains. And I really didn't want to go and see that done with Edge, his character as Atom Smasher. I was hoping maybe that, well, he could be captured or detained at some point in time in the bunkers and maybe come back out and help save the day. You know, his character is considered an anti-hero and a member of the Justice Society. So I would have loved to have seen that. Another thing, Jesse L. Martin's character just he brings such heartwarming moments to the show. I can't imagine him really being replaced by anybody or who if anybody else would have been able to play his part. I mean, Ernie Hudson, who was originally possibly could have been cast as him, who everybody knows from Ghostbusters, was offered the chance, or at least auditioned for the part. And Jesse L. Martin got it, and I'm glad he has. He's just a solid rock father figure, police officer, and he just does it so well. And then you have John Wesley Shipp's character. You know, it's great to see him again. He does an awesome job as Barry's father. And it was such a heartwarming moment. Spoilers, that Harrison Wells had made a video diary for Barry to see. And in it basically said that he confessed to everything about Barry's mother's murder. And it freed him. And afterwards, Barry goes and picks Henry Allen from Iron Heights and then goes and has a party at their house. But then the one thing that I felt so bad about was that he's deciding not to go and stay in Central City long enough. And, you know, I can understand it. I mean, he's had a lot of bad memories. I mean, that whole 14 years he's been thought of as this guy who murdered his wife. And how do you rebuild a life from that? I hope we don't see the last of him in just that episode. I hope he does come back in further episodes. Because, you know, he does have that motivation to speak to Barry every time he gets down for something. And just like this episode, he felt beat up because two people had lost their lives trying to save Central City from Eobard Thawne and the Singularity. Eddie, who I hope comes back, you know, in some way, fashion, or form, because after the Everyman episode, I really rooted for him. He was just not just this boyfriend cop who can be a little arrogant at times, but just this really tough go-to guy that he has your back. I mean, he saved Barry from being blasted from Heat Wave and Captain Cold, and, you know. Let's see, what else to touch upon? Grant Gustin's performance of Barry. He knows how to go and make the character human, and that's one of the things that just makes him so good as the Flash. And I hope the Flash movie, the writers, they know from watching this show, or should get some ideas from this show, on how Barry is portrayed, because that's how you do it. Barry is just a stand-up guy who has troubles that he deals with, but he powers on through with the help of friends and through his own resolve. And I also wanted to talk about Jay Garrick. I was really hoping that there were going to be some sort of special effects where he would have just popped out of nowhere. And spoilers, he shows up at the last minute at Star Labs and just introduces himself and says Central City's in trouble. I wish it would have been more dynamic. You know, I wish it would have been in his full costume gear, which I'm still looking forward to the next episode. That's going to be my favorite episode. I can't wait to see it. And then, you know, he's just there. He takes photos. He's just looming around, keeping an eye on Barry. And he's probably been around since that incident with Singularity. So that's about 6 months ago in the TV series. So I can't wait to see more about his character and how he'll evolve Barry. But can't wait to see how this episode goes. I definitely recommend this episode. It's a good episode. Everybody should go and see it. everybody should at least go and watch The Flash Season 1 if you haven't seen it. So this is Flash Yellow signing out. Peace.